Hey, what is up? My name is Matty and I like to make music, but today I wanted to do a little discussion video. Wanted to talk about finding your identity as an artist, which is something I'm still doing. But I recently signed up for a newsletter off of an Instagram page that I follow called The Path of Stoicism, and I really like what they wrote the other day. The newsletter was called "You Wanted to Do Everything, So You Did Nothing." Every day you scroll through a highlight reel of 100 different lives. You see the entrepreneur making millions from a laptop, the jacked guy running 10 miles at 5 a.m., the artist living in a cabin in the woods, the minimalist in Japan, the productivity nerd building a second brain, the digital nomad in Bali. And somewhere in the back of your mind you think, I want that too. Not just one life, all of them. You want to build a business, write a book, train like an athlete, eat like a monk, travel the world, get married, stay single, get rich, stay humble, create art, and stay off your phone all at the same time. But when you want to do everything, you do nothing because your mind is split, fragmented, overloaded by possibility, and drained by comparison. You start your day with energy, but as soon as you sit down to focus, your mind drifts to the other path you should be taking. So you switch, then switch again, then scroll, just to cope with the guilt of not doing enough. And I don't know if I completely agree with that assessment, but I think the sentiment has some truth, even if it doesn't play itself out exactly like that in my life or in your life. Me and a few friends were sharing our music with each other the other night, giving feedback to each other, just getting excited about art. It was super fun. We were on Spotify at one point, sharing inspiration, when one friend showed us one of his buddies from college who was making music. His sound was super simple. It was just his voice and a guitar. My buddy was like, this guy's got one song that I've been begging him to record ever since I first heard it. And in that moment, I thought, man, I want to write songs and make music that elicits that response. And then my insecurity started talking, telling me about how my songs are surface level, or reminding me that I can't play guitar and sing at the same time very well. Or at all, a little bit. And even if I could, would my music sound good without all that extra production? And what is a song if it can't stand on its own 2 feet? And the temptation in that moment, at least for me, is to pivot in this new inspiration, this new direction, this new thing to chase. I've got another buddy who is putting together an album, and he's in the early stages, so he's just trying to decide what songs belong on the album. And he said, I've narrowed it down from 200 to 75. I don't know, I've probably released close to 50 songs, which is not a small amount. And some people might be like, wow, Matt is prolific, 50 songs. But there are probably less than 25 songs that I have written and not released. I'm not choosing from hundreds of songs. I'm writing a song and then releasing it without being I don't have a trunk of songs. They're all on Spotify. I guess my observation is there are levels to this. And my conclusion about that observation is don't judge yourself. Definitely easier said than done. But learning to compare yourself to others less because you're you. For better and for worse. When I encounter someone who's on another level, it's easy for me to feel judged by that, to judge myself. And there is certainly an element of using that internal judgment as a driver for growth. Just because you're you or I'm me and I'm not the best at playing guitar doesn't mean I shouldn't get better at guitar. And just because I'm not making music like X or Y or Z doesn't mean that I can't incorporate bits and pieces of those inspirations into my music, because isn't that what we're doing anyway? But maybe rather than running headlong into a new inspiration to become someone we're not, we allow that inspiration to change and mold who we are. Your identity as an artist is, I don't know what it is. It's a combination of all the art you've ever consumed and loved and created. And if you're like me, still wading through the process of finding your identity as an artist, I think the solution is to keep making art, to be inspired, to try new things, to stay true to what you love and what you think looks good and sounds good. And hopefully we'll make it out alive. Leave a comment. What do you think?